Hi everybody! We are back with Facebook Lives on Wednesday at 12 Central Standard Time. Happy New Year! I'm Barb Steinberg, and I thought today we could talk about a question that came in from one of our Facebook followers. And that is, I love this question. I love talking about this topic of communicating with your teens, connecting with your teen girls. And she asked, she or he, how do you attempt to establish rapport with your teen daughter when she behaves as if we are putting her through the Spanish Inquisition with everyday simple questions? So what a great question. If you have a teenager, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that all of us have been in this situation before, if not many, many times. So I thought we could just talk a little bit, just take a moment to talk about why do they react the way that they do, and then we're going to end on great ways to respond. I'm going to give you a few different ideas so you can pick and choose what feels right for you, your family, your daughter. So the first thing is, why do they respond this way when all we're doing is asking a simple question like, how was your day? So the first is that our teenagers, of course we know this, but it's worth repeating, they are emotional and they are moody. And why is that? Because they have a fully developed amygdala, which is deep in the middle of the brain in that limbic system. That's where emotions live, emotional responses, fight or flight, all of that kind of emotional reaction lives in there, and it's fully developed. Whereas some parts of the brain, such as the frontal lobe, are not fully developed, and that's in the frontal lobe. That's where we have some inhibitions, where we consider how we respond to people in a kind, respectful way. So they're emotional, they're moody because of that brain development. They kind of can't help it. And then, because of that moodiness, we see that they have these crunchy moments, right? Where because they're tired, they're stressed, they've got too much on their plate, they're overwhelmed. They're doing things all day long that they don't even want to do, like go to school or learn Spanish or whatever it is. So that is a big piece of why they react the way that they do. And another is privacy. Part of growing up and becoming an adult and a grown-up is wanting privacy, right? You want some things that are just for yourself. You want to know that you're separate from your mom or your dad or your caregivers, because you're trying to become a separate adult that's going to leave the house and have their own life. And if you think about it, we as adults, we have a lot of things that we want to keep private, and we don't want to share with just anybody, or maybe anybody at all. And when they become teenagers and adolescents, that's part of that developmental task of separating and becoming independent. So knowing that, I think sometimes can help us to respect that a little bit more and not take it so personally that they're, not speaking to us or not giving us more information or telling us more about their lives, that it really is a part of them becoming independent. So that is that piece about why they might respond the way that they do. Now let's talk a little bit about, well, what do I do in that case? How do I establish that rapport and that connection and maybe help her to open up or share a little bit more? So I would say, hopefully you'll be able to be happy and pleased with no matter how much she shares, even if it's just, 5% more, that's at least 5% more. So trying to kind of look at the bright side if she does begin to share a little bit more with these tools. So one is, timing is everything. You know your daughter better than anybody, and you know when her mood might be a little bit lighter and better than other times during the day. So maybe, I don't know many teenagers that wake up on the right side of the bed and that's their best time of day, but you might have that teen. So I know for some kids, it might be in the car when you guys are driving somewhere. You're going to drop them off at, tennis lessons or the tutor or whatever. And maybe you're sitting side by side, there's decent music playing that they like, and that might be a time when they have a bit of a chatty mood. Or some kids, when you pick them up from school, if they have some moments of silence in the car and you just let the dust settle a little bit and then they're willing to talk a little bit. I know some teens right before they go to bed is kind of a magic time where it's sort of the end of the day. They're feeling a little bit relaxed. They've gotten some things done. If you were to sneak into bed and lay next to her and check in with her, or even just be quiet and let her open up and share if she's ready. So finding the timing of when she's in a decent mood and she might be a little bit open and more willing to talk. And then looking at other ways to ask. Sometimes we ask, like, how was your day? Fine. How are you doing? Great. Or not that they would say great, but fine. So finding ways to ask that might help her to open up a little bit, or even respond to you. Maybe that's our first goal, getting her to respond. So asking her on a scale of 1 to 10, how was your day? If it was a 6, oh, tell me about what made it a 6. What do you think would have made it an 8? See if that's a way to get it in there and open up a little bit. Another way, tell me one good thing that happened to you today. And sometimes some of our girls are stuck in a negative place, like every day is a bad day and a horrible day. And if you kind of gently open the door with, tell me one good thing that happened today, that might be an opening for her. Asking about friends is another way to get her to talk and open up. You mentioned last week that Allie and Emily were having some problems. How's it going this week? Or some way to get her to talk that feels a little bit less personal, something that's on her mind that she's really interested in, which is talking about her friends. So that's another way in. And then last idea is around the dinner table or any family meal that you guys may have together, having everybody go around and share a sunshine and a cloud, like a good thing and a not so good thing that happened that day. Or you can call it a rose and a thorn, or you could call it a happy and a crappy, whatever works for your family. And in our family, we have the rule, you don't have to have a cloud or a thorn or a crappy, but you do have to have one good thing that you're willing to share. And everybody does, parents, little kids, everybody. So it's a way of connecting and getting her to open up and have that be a regular thing that she can expect at mealtime. So hopefully some of these ideas will kind of get your mind going and thinking about some ways to connect. Hopefully you'll try one or two or all of them and see what works for you. And please let us know in the comments section. Of course, please always write in with questions that you have about raising tween and teen girls. I would love to answer them in these Facebook Lives and other videos. And I hope that you will sign up for our monthly newsletter on barbsteinberg.com, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Barb Steinberg LMSW. There's a blog on my website where my goal is to help you have the best relationship you can have with your girls and help your girls to grow up to be in love with themselves, essentially. So that's my purpose, is to help, and I hope that you will utilize me and ask or tell me how I can help you. All right, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye.